The Public Works Department's blatant waste of taxpayers' money has been revealed in Parliament. It's told the Standing Committee on Public Finance that it's wasted R3.9 billion since 2009. The ministry was before SCOPA to prove to the body that it's working hard to root out corruption. Well, is it working hard enough? Let's go live now to Cape Town. SCOPA Chairperson Themba Godi is standing by to talk to us. Mr. Godi, good evening to you and welcome. R3.9 billion. Are you shocked at this figure?
Yeah, I must say that it is quite staggering, and we were indeed shocked. We have been dealing with these issues all along, but I think today's presentation was a real shocker in terms of the extent of the road that it's set in the department. You recall that we all knew that something was wrong in that department, but we're not able to quantify the extent of the challenges and the disarray that it set into that department.
In your opinion, notwithstanding R200 to hire wine glasses, we can talk about that in just a moment, what is the fundamental problem? What's the main contributing fact here?
Well, the fundamental problem here is the breakdown in internal controls. You'll note that the Auditor General in the latest report of the department indicates that the department does not have the ability to detect irregular expenditure, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, meaning that transactions happen without the department having the ability to immediately realize that processes have not been followed and or that such transactions are not necessary and helpful. And there are a number of contributing factors to this. If you check and realize that two acting DGs have been found to have been on the wrong, it tells you that the fish had actually begun rotting from the head, and you therefore could not expect anything better from the lower levels.
Let's look at an issue like R200 to hire wine glasses for the presidential guest house. That's obviously going to grab the headlines. Surely that's not process, that's just profligacy and sheer incompetence.
I think, Jeremy, if you look at the report generally, you'll find that part of the challenge of this anarchy has been to try and make as much money as possible for individuals, especially through the inflation of prices, the purchasing of services that were not needed or necessary, and doing things with some bit of overzealousness in terms of purchasing things. Sure, you would have noted that there were a couple of millions that we used to purchase things for the houses of ministers and deputy ministers, which were totally not in line with the ministerial handbook. So the cumulative effect of the breakdown in internal controls is that people will just do as they wished, because here you have a glass hired for R200, and at the end of the function, that glass does not belong to the state. It will come back again for another 200 rand per outing. I think it can't be described as anything less than just mere looting of public funds.
In spite of promises that things are changing, that action is being undertaken, why, in your opinion, Mr. Godi, should we have any confidence in the minister and his deputy?
Look, Jeremy, I must say that the minister, the deputy minister, and the director general, we think that they show the correct attitude, energy, and resolve. Our only wish as a committee is for this to be sustained. I have jokingly said, one of the risks facing the department is that we're going to elections next year. So we don't know whether they are going to come back as ministers or are going to have new people, because this lack of stability in the leadership of the department, both political and administrative, has actually given room for this kind of things to happen. I must say that I don't underestimate the enormity of the task of turning that department around. But looking at the amounts of irregular expenditure for this past year and the year before, I was worried that we did not seem to have stopped the illicit outflow of money in the department. And the question indeed arises whether, as we're talking now, are there no millions, being shifted out of the department? So until we have that comfort, I don't think that we can relax looking at the scale of the amounts we're talking about.
It sounds to me, Mr. Godi, that it sounds to me that you don't in fact have confidence in the current political leadership in that department.
No, to the contrary. All I'm saying is that despite what I've said, we can't take comfort merely from the fact that the political and administrative leadership is showing positive signs until there is conclusive evidence that we have stopped the leak or the outflow of money in the department. Right. We can't just relax.
Sure.
We need to continue to be vigilant and to be worried.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Live in Cape Town for Newsnight, the views there of Themba Godi, who chairs SCOPA, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts.
News that moves. eNCA.com.